In the last video, we showed how the cabinet was built and mounted on the wall of the slide out. In this video, we're looking at the building and mounting of the drawers. The new cabinet is being useful even though it's not finished. So after talking it over with Sherry, we decided to put the two drawers on the right side and make the left open area a cabinet with a door. We received no compensation for the use of or mention of products or companies in this video. I decided to reuse the drawer faces from the old Dinette drawers. This saves money and time, but the opening I made is a little wide, so to use the drawer faces I needed to add some supports for the drawer slides. Just adding some 2x2s will accomplish this. Later on, I'll add paneling skin to the face of the cabinet to hide the 2x2s and the edges of the plywood. I needed to make this adjustment before making the drawer boxes. This way I can get the measurements right from the cabinet. I used screws and glue for all fasteners in this because it holds the parts tight. Using a hammer makes a good adjustment tool. Once the 2x2s were in place, I could put in the drawer slides. This is done by taking the part that attaches to the drawer off and then securing the main part to the cabinet. The slides came with very small screws that were not cooperating, so I switched to using the drywall screws that hold very well and are a whole lot easier to use with a drill. A little tug after securing the slide, and it is ready to have the part that attaches to the drawer put back on to align with the drawer. The bottom slides are just sitting on the bottom of the cabinet. This aligns them. But the slides for the top drawer need to be measured for location so that they will be aligned. This is part of what makes these drawer slides work well, if you get them aligned properly. With the drawer slides in place, I got the measurements and then started to cut the parts for the drawers. I used 1/2 inch thick plywood for the drawer boxes. I had some left over from a previous project, and so I used it first and got about half the parts I needed. Then another trip to the Home Depot gave me the rest of the parts with a little left over for the next project. One thing about using battery-powered tools is that you have to keep extra batteries. Right here you can see I ran the first battery out. And then in the same cut, the next battery lasted just a little bit more, just a couple of inches. And then the last one finished the cut and all the rest of the cuts and assembled everything else. So really, I probably should have recharged my batteries before I started. Each drawer is made from 5 pieces. The bottom, then the front, back, right, and left side. I use glue and screws to assemble these together. When working with wood, it's best to allow for the wood to be warped, and correcting this while assembling the parts. To do this, I flex the wood back into shape while using glue and screws. Normally this means attaching one end and then adding the glue and then flexing the wood into shape and using the screws to hold that shape. With the drawer boxes made, I could then install them into the cabinet. For the bottom drawer, I used a couple of container lids to hold the drawer off the bottom of the cabinet evenly. Then I made sure that the location of the upper drawer would not interfere with the bottom drawer. All this while still giving the top drawer the most room possible inside. I then attached the bottom drawer to the slide rails. I just pull them out enough to put the front screws into the sides of the drawer. With 2 screws installed on each side, I could then remove the drawer with the slides attached to put the last screws in to hold the slide onto the drawer. Then just slide it back into place and make sure that it slides in and out smoothly. The top drawer was a little different. It needed a spacer to hold it in place while I attached it. Then it was just a matter of attaching the slides like the bottom. The drawers are working just fine, and we already have put them to use with some of the stuff Sherry uses for coffee. After I get the front of the cabinet finished, I will attach the drawer fronts. The next video will be on getting the cords out of the way and taking care of the electrical part of the project.
Thanks for watching our video. If you like what you see, press the like button below and subscribe. And also check out our other videos.